Okay, there we are. Let's see. Aha. Hello, hello, hello. It's Serena again. Okay, so I got done doing a live on motivational mantras, and so I wanted to do a separate video and just offer maybe a deeper encouragement for those that are maybe more into African spirituality and tarot and oracle readings, things of that nature. I'm really inclined to share with us in this space um, the goddess, the African goddess in Kosazana, just sharing information on the African goddess in Kosazana, right? Oh, there we go. In Kosazana. Beautiful. So, in case you're wondering, Serena, what's this? So, this is an oracle deck created by Abiola Abrams. It's called African Goddess Rising. It comes in a beautiful box with your cards in them. And so Abiola is basically just offering us a deck to support us as a tool to encourage us, enlighten us, and maybe bring some personal development and personal direction sometimes. And so I'm all about all of those things. I'm all about healing, enlightenment, personal development, and supporting myself. So I really love to use tools that help me to do that. And so oracle decks or oracle cards can be one way to enlighten, to support, to enhance personal development, and even to enhance healing as well. So I was really inclined to come on here and share about Inkosazana. I'm also going to go ahead and pull one more card from the deck as a random card to see what else maybe spirit or ancestors might have to say to us. And so even before I begin, I'm just going to call upon the ancestors and just say, my ancestors, my own ancestors, Nkulunkulu Oludumare Nyambe, I invite you into the space as we pull some oracle cards. Give me the wisdom to speak about Inkosazana or Namkuluwane and what needs to be heard to the collective this morning. I'm just going to take some water and pour libation into my plant. Thank you this morning for the words that will be said to the collective. Thank you, thank you, thank you this morning. All right, and so we shall begin. So in Kosazana, as you can see, she is in this picture. The artist really captured her so well. Trying to bring her into focus. Artist really captured her well. She's got a lamb next to her, and there's a pot, a plant. She's in rainbow colors because that's how she appears sometimes, in rainbow colors. You can see that she has earth elements on her that looks like a tree growing in her head. And she's also on clouds. So this is a goddess this is an African goddess coming out of the South African cosmology system, our spiritual cosmology system. And she's said to be a goddess of the clouds, but she's also said to be a goddess of water. So she's goddess of the ethereal, of being in the cosmos, but also being on earth in the form of water, right? So, and she appears to us sometimes in the form of a rainbow, raindrops, or she can also appear to people in dreams in the form of a python or snakes, right? So if you've been dreaming about pythons or snakes, maybe it's in Kosazana, right? That is coming into your dreams. I believe she's also attached to the Inzunza spirit. We can dive in more into those topics as maybe the weeks go by, if I'm led by spirit to do that. Definitely I'm learning these things, and as I share, I'm learning. I'm not an expert by any means necessary. I can't get this card straight, but you could see her, right? You can see her in Kosazana. Yes, there we go, in Kosazana, right? Or Namkuluwane, or there's a third name, Mbama Waresa, I think is what she's known as well. Sometimes they mix these three deities into one, and sometimes they're separated. But in this case, we're going to focus on Inkosazana. So we're going to get the oracle deck and read. We're going to get the guidebook and read about in Kosazana and see what encouraging message that this goddess has for us this morning. Like, share, subscribe, send this to a friend that might need to hear this. Dreaming about snakes and pythons is not necessarily a bad thing in the African spiritual cosmological system. Sometimes it's our own fears that we have to get over because of society and the things maybe we've learned in other spaces like religion that might make us afraid of snakes in our dreams. But in the African spiritual systems, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Oh, and by the way, that was not a tree growing on our head. That's something else, and I can't identify what it is. Yeah, interesting. So in Kosazana is coming out of the Zulu South Africa cosmological system, like we said. She is the goddess of celestial alignment, and it says right here at the bottom, right? Celestial alignment. She's the goddess of celestial alignment. In Kosazana is the healer of healers and the teacher of teachers, whose love for humanity makes the corn grow. She dwells in foamy waters, but is also known as the heavenly princess. As above, so below is celestial alignment. So what guidance can Nkosazana offer us this morning? In Kosazana's guidance, your natural path is to be in alignment with your own divinity. I'll read that again. Your natural path is to be in alignment with your own divinity. No one can take that away from you. They didn't give it to you. No one can take that away from you. They didn't give it to you. I'm going to read those two sentences together one more time. Your natural path is to be in alignment with your own divinity. No one can take that away from you that they didn't give you. How do we embody this guidance, this guiding word? How do you feel and how do you want to feel is in Kosazana's question. You often think about what you want, but goddess energy speaks to us in feelings. Goddess energy speaks to us in feelings. Celestial alignment is being in sync with the energetic feeling, the frequency of the sacred. Everything that you desire is in that frequency. Match it with your feelings. This is the energy of goddess. I'm going to read that last part one more time. Celestial alignment is being in sync with the energetic feeling, the frequency of the sacred. Everything that you desire is in that frequency. Match it with your feeling. That is the energy of the goddess. Amazing. Yes. Breathe deeply if you need to. So I'm going to try to explain this in a way that I understand it. When you want something and you go into a state of anxiety because you want something and you believe you can't have it, you're energetically basically pushing that thing away from yourself. And I mean, there are many factors we have to consider. We live in a world that doesn't necessarily jive with Black people. We live in a world that is very judgy towards Black people and does not see us as humans. So we also have to understand that there's systems that are working against us, right? But so I'm being very realistic. So bringing this into a holistic manner, that there's social determinants that are working against us as Black people, social determinants of health, knowing that racism is a healthcare crisis. Yes, there's a crisis health-wise, knowing that colonialism is still alive and all of those things, right? And so we're also living in very tumultuous times. So looking at all these barriers that already exist in our environment. However, Nkosazana is asking us to come into ourselves. It's just asking us to come into ourselves and to really hone in who we are as a person and to match the frequency of what we want and what we desire. So think about the thing that you already have. Say, for instance, you have a spouse. Go back to the day you met them. You're very happy. Or that happy moment, maybe your wedding, the birth of your child, graduating with your degree finally, those happy moments, and engage that feeling that you had, that feeling of accomplishment, the feeling of feeling loved or being seen, being heard, all of that. So when you imagine that and when you can feel that feeling, right? So your thoughts and your feelings match, and you're probably going to smile, giggle, maybe relax a little because it's such a good feeling that you can feel. So it's in the same breath is what you want to do with the things that you're trying to reach for. So we sit down with our imagination and begin to think about the things we want, and we connect with the feel good feeling of that thing that we want. So it's in the feeling that we begin to manifest and align with the things that we want. Oprah speaks about this all the time, right? And there are many mornings when I wake up. Like the good one is my birthday, right? Because I'm still manifesting small. I haven't gotten to the big manifestations yet. I'm still growing my manifestation muscle. If there's a muscle, I'm still exercising it. So I remember my birthday was December 7th. And I remember days leading up to my birthday, I would just lay in my bed and dream about going to a very specific restaurant and just like having this really yummy breakfast, drinking some yummy coffee with really good company, right? In really good company, great conversation. Listen, I felt the energy, I felt the feelings of this day, and just imagining it, I connected with the feeling grateful, feeling happy, feeling full, feeling seen, being celebrated and celebrating with others, and just being in a space where I knew that I was loved. Guess what? My birthday comes and there's a call, and maybe it was a day before. Hey, we should hang out. We should go to this place. It was the same place I wanted to go to that I had been, sitting and thinking about for days on end. So don't neglect the power of manifestation. Don't neglect the power of dreaming of the things you want, right? And just like not holding so tightly onto the energy, but just feeling it, feeling that feel good feeling of what you want. So that day was so beautiful. It was three of us sat in this wonderful place that I love, Tree Town Cafe. We had such a lovely time. I'm still full from that moment. I'm still very, very full. The two of you, you know who you are. I forever will love you, and thank you so much for making my birthday such a wonderful day to be remembered. I am grateful for that. So, yes. So the goddess in Kosazana comes with a declaration or a mantra. I will always be guided in the right direction. I will always be guided in the right direction. So if that's your thing where maybe you have a lot of anxiety, am I doing the right thing? Am I going the right way? Be encouraged today that you are going in the right direction, right? Offer yourself comfort, offer yourself compassion, offer yourself a lot of kindness, offer yourself softness, right? Especially in those times when you feel, oh my God, I've blown it, because maybe you did blow it 5 years ago. That's okay. We've all done it. I might share my story one day of how I blew it badly, right? But here I am, I'm still going, I'm still chugging along. So we've all had those stories. If we've lived long enough on this earth, we've all had those stories where we thought we blew it and it's over, but here we are. It's not over. It's not over, right? So that's the wisdom that Goddess in Kosazana brings us today. I'm going to pull one more card and then we'll be done because it's like 13 minutes into this. I think I want to end at the 15-minute mark, so it's not so long. Just going to pull one more card. Ancestors, what would you like to say to the collective? Okay, one card fell out. Nice. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Whew. This is Goddess. This is Goddess Tanit. Wow. Goddess Tanit. I don't think I've ever pulled this card before. This is Goddess Tanit, pleasure goddess. Ooh, look at her. Swishy hips and just arms wide open. She's open to love and pleasure. And she's feeling herself. She really is. She's embodied. She looks like she's fully embodied who she is. And she has no care to change herself or anyone. She's in her element. She is who she is. I'm calling this year my year of coming out. And what I mean by that is, like, if I was telling a friend, I do not like Espelon tequila. So do not offer me Espelon tequila, because I'm going to be very honest. I'm going to be very real about what I like, what I don't like. So this is my year of coming out in terms of just what I like, you're going to know. What I don't like, you're going to know. I'm going fiercely for my dreams. And because the happier I am by following my dreams, the happier I will be presenting myself to my community, right? They'll get a more relaxed Serena, perhaps a Serena that's nicer to be around. You know what I mean? So this is my year of coming out, just embodying everything I like, being fully myself and loving myself fully, and not excusing, not apologizing for how for the body I have, for the tone of my voice, for my accent, my four eyes, my bald head, all of that, not apologizing for it. So let's see what Goddess Tanit has to say for us, to us this morning, this afternoon, whenever you listen to this. Don't forget to like, share with someone that might need to hear this, especially someone who's into African spirituality or African cosmology and stuff like that. So usually when you see oracle decks, usually the decks are, there's a variety of decks. I like this one because it's talking about African goddesses, and not just goddesses from the continent of Africa, but from diaspora, anything Black, anything that's rooted in African. There's a goddess for that. So there's goddesses from Cuba, from Haiti, Barbados, Guyana, name it, all those places. And so this goddess Tanit is the goddess of pleasure, and she's from the Tunisian cosmology. Her element is air. Tanit was the goddess of the stars in the ancient Carthage. Today, all the way over in Ibiza, they still have pleasure-filled full moon, midnight, table dancing parties in her name. Doesn't she look like she's about to turn up though? Okay, this might be the goddess of turn up, right? So turn up, maybe play some music today. Maybe, just let your hips loose and dance a little. Perhaps your ancestors have been telling you lately, hey, dance, feel yourself, be happy. So yes, turn some music on. So Goddess Tanit offers us this wisdom. You are thirsty for more pleasure. Ooh, very true. You can thrive when your life feels, you can't thrive when your life feels dry. So you are thirsty for more pleasure. You can't thrive when your body feels dry. You are made of laughter and stardust, not sawdust. Pleasure is your birthright, a gift from the universe. Wow. Pleasure is your birthright, a gift from the universe. How much how much more how much juicy pleasure can you stand? Ooh, this is the embodiment part. How much juicy pleasure can you stand? Turn up the pleasure principle. Oh, look at me nervously holding on to my clutching my crystals, right? Because I'm like, ooh, how much pleasure can you stand? Oh, yeah. Turn up the pleasure principle. Ooh, okay, all right. You secretly feel that you don't deserve it. But pleasure is a healing and manifesting force. Ah, laughing, loving, and orgasmic joy is holy. Let's read that again. Let's read. Let's let's, let's read that again. You secretly feel that you don't deserve it, but pleasure is healing and manifesting force. I'm so sorry. Laughing, loving, and orgasmic joy is holy. Hold your hands over your reproductive area. And look, my hand is already over my reproductive area. Like, no kidding, my hand's right here. Before I even read the sentence. That is so cool. Um, your laughing, loving, and orgasmic joy is holy. Hold your hands over your reproductive area and say aloud, I deserve pleasure. I deserve pleasure. Say it with me. I deserve pleasure. We deserve pleasure. It feels good to feel good. It feels good to feel good. I read an Instagram post once that said some people don't know that their bodies are meant to feel pleasure. How many of us negate pleasure and are just so focused on our goals? We're so focused on the next step, and especially if you're a parent, if you're a guardian of a child, that's a sacred space to be in, right? But sometimes we can get so gung-ho on the tasks, on raising our littles, on making sure our business thrives, that we forget that we are built for pleasure. We are built to feel good. I mean, Adrienne Marie Brown has a whole book on pleasure activism, so yeah, let's stay encouraged and let's really turn up the pleasure principle. however that needs to happen to you. So yeah, search yourself. Do you need to laugh more? Do you need orgasmic joy? Do you need loving? I suppose I do need. I suppose I do need laughter because, as you can. Okay. All right. Okay, ancestors. Okay. Okay. I hope that I hope this reading, these two oracle cards speak life into you today, encouragement, support, alignment, enlightenment, some forms of healing. We started off with in Kosazana, the celestial alignment. We ended with we ended with ooh, we ended with we ended with Tanit. Tanit, the goddess of pleasure. All right, join me again soon. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to tune into my podcast, Ubuntu Roots, on I Apple Podcast, on Anchor, Google Podcast. This is Serena. This has been wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see you soon.